I simply cannot stop looking at all of the beautiful pictures from Connor and Leah's wedding. All the details were so perfect, including the awesome suits that Connor and the groomsmen wore. We ordered from suitshop.com and paid less to own and keep the suits than what we would have paid to rent them. They also have tuxes and so many color options, fit options, and everything was done online. Suitshop managed the entire process for our group, and they just couldn't have made it any easier. One of the groomsmen sent me a text last week to tell me that he has worn his suit twice since last month's wedding, and another ordered 2 more for work because the fit was so perfect. Visit suitshop.com, use the code GIFMM for Got It From My Mama, and get a free tie with purchase. You guys know that my favorite things I have from Able are truly staples for me. There's my leather crossbody bag, the backpack that I carry for work, of course that denim jacket I wear all the time. My friends have it. I love it. Almost all of my everyday jewelry pieces are also from Able. I just feel good wearing them because I love the mission behind this company, to support and empower women from all walks of life. I recently got to meet their brand new female CEO, Misty Blasco. She's bringing 25 years of experience working in fashion and retail with companies like All Saints, True Religion, BCBG. And to celebrate this exciting announcement, you can use my code MAMA30 and receive 30% off of your entire purchase at Able. The website is ableclothing.com. Search the word Jennifer and you are going to see the items that I have handpicked just for our Got It From My Mama listeners. That is code MAMA30.
Hello. That might be my favorite introduction ever. I didn't even know that was going to happen. So what a treat. I'm Jennifer Vickery Smith. It is so nice to get to see all of you. Thank you for being here today. How many of you were in the audience last year when we did our first edition of the Got It From My Mama Live? Quite a few of you. We had LeClaire Bryan here and we laughed a whole lot. It was so much fun. Well, since last year, we have put out 42 more episodes of interviews with moms of entertainers. So there's around 60 something that are out there that you can actually go online and watch on YouTube, or you can download a podcast app and listen to them. And there's going to be interviews with all of your favorites, from Thomas Rhett's mama, who was on my very first edition of the podcast, Luke Bryan's mom, of course, from last year. We have Kelsey Ballerini. We've got comedian Nate Bargatze, other athletes such as Steph Curry, Travis Kelce. Really interesting interviews about how these talented folks got from either the field or whatever they were doing at the time to big stages and big platforms. So thank you so much for being here. A lot of you have some cards that may be in your seats. You can actually just hit that QR code and begin to follow us, join our insider group. And then, of course, a big thank you on the back. We have incredible sponsors that allow us to bring this content to you free of charge, which is so wonderful. And so you've got discounts there that you won't find other places to, so we want to give them a shout out. So thanks to Able, incredible leather goods. We're going to do some giveaways in a little bit. BAREFACED skincare, Coat Defense pet products, and then Suit Shop, a site where you can actually purchase tuxes and suits at a great rate. So thank you so much for being here. So we are all about mamas. We love to tell great stories, and I just admire and respect the one that we're going to talk to today. She is a New York Times best-selling author. She happens to be a podcast host herself. She is mother to 4 beautiful girls, and she's quite the entrepreneur. She just happens to be the wife of one of our very favorite country music artists, superstar Thomas Rhett. Please help me welcome Lauren Akins. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you here today. Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
So when you think about the fact that, I mean, one, this crowd has showed up for you. At Thomas Rhett concerts, we were so privileged for Connor to get to go out with him, and so we got to go to a lot of shows. I mean, I think there's as many posters in the crowd that talk about Lauren Akins as there are, like, what song they want TR to play.
Oh, my gosh.
And then there's, like, 2.7 million Instagram followers. I mean, can you even wrap your head around that?
No. No, I can't, because, you know, it doesn't feel like that should be the life that we live.
Yeah.
Because it's not normal. You know, it's just not normal. But it's our normal now, and it's fun. It's not necessarily the way I saw our life going.
Right.
But here we are, and we're doing it, and it is a lot of fun. And You know, we're so well received everywhere we go.
Yes.
His fans, which I guess have turned into my family's fans, are so kind, and it's been so much fun just getting to meet people from, honestly, all over the world, and we have a lot of fun with it.
That's so sweet. I think what we all know here today is the fact that this family is so relatable. We love them. We love to follow all the things they do, is the fact that you're so real. There's no pretense. There's no fake. If you go to the Instagram of you or your husband, this is not a perfectly curated life that you guys are putting out there at all. As a matter of fact, I mean, let's talk about some of the things TR posts, right?
Or let's not.
How many of you recently saw, like, I think he went through and just really had to dig because you're so stinking adorable, but he found the most awkward photos of you ever to post to profess his love, right?
Yeah, and videos of me falling, like all over the place. I'm like, how does someone catch that many times? And the person who was she was giving me a heads up, she was like, because I don't get on socials very often, and she was like, hey, just a heads up. He's posting this, you're gonna have to have ammo. And I'm like, I don't have that kind of ammo. I am not following him around with a camera, like waiting for him to fall, because that's mean.
You did pretty good though. You found some things that definitely worked, right?
Yeah.
As a little rebuttal.
I had to go back to like high school days when I feel like I took so many pictures. I'm so bad about taking pictures these days.
Well, you're a little bit busy, Lauren.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's okay.
Mom with littles, so I think it's just it's a thing. But
I think one of the things that's interesting, and I know that probably you as a person, and again, just in your humility and the way that you've kind of approached this lifestyle that you didn't necessarily ask for or necessarily embrace the fame initially that was all coming your way, but you see people that will say, oh my goodness, I love them. They're the perfect couple. They have the perfect marriage, the perfect family. How do you kind of combat that? Because I'm sure that, you know, there's like, okay, am I supposed to strive to be that? But I feel like you've been so just clear in your identity and kind of keeping everything just as real as possible.
yeah, I mean, I think people say this quite a bit now, but social media is such a great tool. Also, it can be something that I think can highlight, it's just like the highlight reels of life. So like, I don't often, which is maybe good why Thomas Rhett's been doing all of these like crazy posts of us just like epic fails, because that is what social media is so much, is just like, we got to go do this, and here's a great day with our family, and this was an amazing month, and look at this great accomplishment. And if you're not careful, I think that can make you feel like everybody has it all together, because if you look at everybody on socials, it's like they have it together, look how happy they are. And it's just not reality. I mean, sometimes it is, for sure, but everybody's human. And to be quite honest, we had to go to the doctor's office the other day. I did, with my 4 kids. And when I say the nurse that was helping us out, hands down, thinks that I am the worst mother on planet Earth because of the way that my children responded to some of the care they were getting. And I was like, okay, I promise we are not this way at home all the time. And I'm like trying to keep a straight face. But we all have those moments. And in marriage, we fight just like everybody else. And yeah, it's funny that people say that, because it's not reality. But we are happy. That is real. Most of the time we are happy, and we do like each other most of the time. Like most of you, probably. Yeah,
I think there's a lot of nodding heads out there. We get it. You can be in love and still maybe not like that person for a couple of hours, right?
All day long. My kids are like, so we know that you love Daddy, but do you not like him right now? I'm like, yes, baby, that is right. I love him. I always choose to love him, but right now, I do not like Daddy right now. And they're like, can you please make up? And then if we go to kiss, they're like, no, don't do it.
I love that. So you mentioned just a minute ago, you had to go back to high school to get the photos, to get the ammo that you needed. Oh, yeah. So for those who may not know, most of you probably do, but these two met in the 1st grade.
Yeah.
Their families were really great friends growing up. They dated for a little bit of time in high school, and then Lauren put TR in the friend zone for about 5 years, right?
Yeah, we stayed in the friend zone for a minute.
Much to his dismay, right?
Yeah. Yeah, as I'm finding out the history, I was not aware of all of his feelings in those 5 years of friendship. We double dated, we had other great relationships, and we're friends with each other. We never stopped doing life together. Our families still traveled together. But yeah, it was better for us to be friends in that time.
Until something changed a little bit later on.
That's right.
And you were like, wait a minute, maybe he isn't like a brother to me.
It was that in that moment that my world, you know somebody so well, and you're like, there's no way that we could have these feelings for each other. And just, you have the moment where, well, maybe you don't know, but I had the moment where I kissed the guy who I thought we were just friends, and he dared me to kiss him, and I love to, really show up for a good dare. and so we kissed, and it was like my world that I knew all of a sudden just like went upside down, and it was like you thought you knew, and you don't. And then we were engaged later that year.
Yeah, shortly after that. Yeah. Married at 22, young love. And, again, going back to that, just being real and being vulnerable, the first years were not super easy. You definitely had your ups and downs like other people. And because you had people coming to you for advice, you ended up writing a book a few years ago. It's called Live and Love. If you haven't read it, it's so good. Oh, there we go. There's at least a copy in the audience. I love that. The book is so beautiful, and they're, again, just so real and vulnerable. It's funny. It's heartbreaking, like all of the things. And you get to hear a little bit more about their journey, which we all have loved following, and how you've uniquely built your family as well. But you said that you wrote the book because your real mission in that was so that people would understand that they're not alone in their struggles, and that you've certainly had yours.
Yeah, and I think some of it also, going back to the comment earlier, people saying you have such a perfect family and a perfect life. It was like, oh my goodness, this cannot be how everyone sees us, because it's not true. And I do think the quicker we all realize that life is never going to be just all butterflies and rainbows, the better, because then you're able to approach reality with a better head on your shoulders, and not listen to the lie of, if I can just get this, if I can just do that, if I can just be this person, then I'll be happy. Because it is a lie. That is a lie. And I do think in our house, we follow Jesus, and in our house, we believe that at the end of the day, he is really the only one that can fill your cup fully. And so I kind of wanted to, well, actually, to be quite honest, I didn't want to write a book. That was not like a dream that I had set out and been like, one day, I think I would love to write a book. But the opportunity just kind of kept presenting itself, and it felt like one of those moments where, in your life where you feel like, I think I'm supposed to do this. I think this is an open door in front of me, and I think I'm supposed to walk through it. And so really, more than anything, it was an act of obedience. And it was awesome. It was so much fun. Mark D'Agostino was my co-author, and it was really fun to do. But it was just a good way for us to kind of be able to show everybody the real, and not just the highlight reel of our life, but the real parts of our life.
And dig in a little bit deeper. How would you say that you have been able to keep your identity as Lauren? You have a college degree, you are incredibly smart, you're an entrepreneur, just on the ball, but to not just be Thomas Rhett's wife, to be your 4 girls' mom. Like, you've done a great job of establishing your own identity and being true to who you are. But I know that there was a period of time early on in the marriage where you were like, what's my purpose in all this?
Yeah, I do think for us specifically, just in the industry that he's in, there was almost this pressure to become this person or to become this family. And I kind of fell into that pressure a little bit of you need to wear these clothes, you need to be friends with these people, you need to do face care and things like, you know, that I think the world tells you to do, especially if you're going to be somebody who is seen more than not. And I kind of started to try to do that for a while and to try to keep up. And it was so empty. It was not who I am. Listen, my sister is amazing at skincare. She has like the most beautiful, perfect little face. And I can say that because I'm her sister. But she appreciates that. She loves skincare. I don't. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with skincare. I just think that there are just some things that the world says you have to, you should. If you don't, then. And I did listen to it, and I felt just more empty. And thankfully, I do have a community in my life that knew us before Thomas Rhett became on stage Thomas Rhett. Mm-hmm. And they're so good about making sure that we stay grounded and remember where we came from and remember who we are. But then also just listening to that, like, why do I feel so empty? Why does this not feel like it's right? And it's because it wasn't. Mm-hmm. And so I think we all have that spirit inside of us that can tell us those things. It's just trying to fine-tune your mind to be able to hear it.
Right. Which makes this lever even more, right? I love that. So I want to talk about an organization that is such a big part of your story. In the early years of marriage, you started doing mission travel, going to Uganda, fell in love with the country, fell in love with a precious little girl who became your daughter, your first daughter. And then all of that kind of grew. And there's this organization that, if you're not familiar with it, it's called Love One. And let me tell you, it's a game changer. They are changing lives every day with the work that they do. And I want to make sure that we get to talk about Love One.
Thank you. Yeah, I cannot take credit. So Suzanne, one of our mutual friends, she's one of my very best friends. And she adopted a little girl from Uganda years before I even knew her. But she always said, if I get her home and well, I want to go back and make sure I'm taking care of all of the other, Josie Love is her name, all of the other Josie Loves in Uganda. And so she did. Years later, we became friends, and we were traveling together overseas, and Love One was born 6 years ago this past April.
Oh, wow.
And we have served over 12,000 children in the 6 years. And so what we do is we take care of malnourished children. A lot of people think, which is understandable, because I have an adopted little girl and Suzanne has a few adopted kids, they think that we are an orphanage. And those do exist, but that is not why we exist. We actually, our main purpose is bringing children in who have someone to care for them, and any child in the country that can get to our center, or we can get to them. We take them in if they are malnourished in any way, and we work to get them healthy. We have nutritionists and nurses and doctors, and we have an incredible Ugandan staff that is growing rapidly because we are expanding currently. So right now we can take care of about 50-ish kids at a time, and we are building a center that is almost done that will, at max capacity, be able to hold around 300 children at a time and care for them and get them back in their homes.
That is amazing. And the ribbon cutting is actually coming up soon, right? It's almost ready.
It's soon.
Yeah.
So we're counting down the days. And it's so hard. It's very, very, very hard because you see so many heartbreaking stories and children and families. But then the hope, when you see that little child become healthy and able to walk. And my favorite is watching these moms come back, and they've got, they've got 2 or 3 kids walking with them. And one of the ones walking is one of the ones that we cared for, last year or something. And then they've got a new one on their hip. and it is a chunky, healthy little baby.
Oh,
and this
I love it.
mom, you know, they'll walk back and they'll say, look what I can do. Look what I've done. And then that ripple effect goes throughout the communities, and we're starting to see communities really change in how they are, you know, being empowered and educated in certain ways and getting access to care that they need, all because of what the Lord is doing through Love One. That is exactly what Suzanne would say. But she's the dreamer, and he put that dream in her heart, and then she just invited me to come alongside. So I serve on the board, and we have such a fun board. And so, yeah, that's what I get to do for work. That's what my kids call my work.
Your work, yeah. It is work. It's great work. It's the Lord's work. It's amazing. So I want to talk a little bit about the adoption of Willa Gray. So I will never forget the Instagram post that I think it was TR's and not yours, but Thomas Rhett posted, it's about to get crazy around here. So basically at the time that you guys announced the fact that you are adopting and have decided to adopt Willa Gray, you shortly after find out you're pregnant with the first child. And you guys have been trying, but when it didn't happen immediately, you shifted gears and like, okay, I've connected with this precious girl in Uganda. And so the story, how do they say it? The script flipped, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was wild going from 0 to 2, which I guess if you have twins, but that's so hard. I mean, 0 to 1, I'm sure is hard. I don't really know. I didn't really get to go 0 to 1. But yeah, it happened really quick, and but it was the best thing ever, because now they're so close. Willa Gray came home when she was 18 months old, and then she came home from my parents had to bring her home. I had to come back to America like 2 weeks before she got to come to America.
Because you were so pregnant.
Because I was so pregnant, and my doctor was like, listen, if you're not trying to have this baby in Uganda, you need to get on a plane and come home. And I was really, 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 really sick. I have hyperemesis gravidarum. I never say it right. But no joke, this is probably not what I should be talking about on a microphone. 50-something times a day I would be throwing up.
Oh, my goodness.
And somehow I managed to still gain a substantial amount of weight. But it was so hard.
Yeah.
It was so hard. And my doctor was like, I'm actually kind of worried about you, so you come on home. So my parents flew over, brought Willa Gray home, and she came home 3 months to the day that she came home. I went into the hospital to have Ada James.
Had Ada James, wow. And I wanted to talk about that just because we love celebrating motherhood, and I thought, what a special story that your mom, I mean, she didn't just fly to, you know, Illinois or something and help you bring home this baby, but literally your parents got on a plane, flew to Uganda, and brought home Willa Gray to you guys. I mean, that's such an incredible sacrifice, and I'm sure it was really special for her,
special.
But your mom's a pretty special person too.
She is so special, and so is my dad, and yeah, I'm so, so grateful. It kind of broke my heart at first. I was like, what? We've been doing this for 13 months, and I'm not going to be able to bring her home. I wanted to like be the one to do it. But looking back, it was actually a sweet gift that I got to be home. I got to sleep. I got to get over jet lag. I was ready for her to come home, and got to put my feet up for a couple weeks. And it worked out the way it was supposed to.
Yeah. You've also been blessed with a pretty awesome mother-in-law. I love Paige. She's so much fun. Yeah.
She is.
I know that has to be a big blessing to you and y'all's relationship, because, I mean, it really does take a village to help run your family, right?
Oh, my word, yes. And now both of our sisters have kids. But most of our family is all in town and local, and that is so, so, so special, getting to have family in town. And I really don't know what I would do if we weren't close to our family. But it helps, too, that I kind of grew up with Paige and Thomas Rhett's family, but it just makes it extra sweet that I got to marry into a family that I already loved so much.
Yeah.
But she's such an incredible mother-in-law and such an incredible Gigi. That's what my kids call her. And she and my mom, Bunny, are besties, too. So we have amazing, amazing grandparents, and Thomas Rhett's dad and his wife are Lolly and Papa. So we're stacked in the grandparents category. We've got everybody, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun to get to do life with our siblings too. And now I have nephews and a niece and another niece on the way. And so now I'm like, all right, it's about time. Somebody else in this family is cranking out the kids.
Hey, I want to give a big shout out to BAREFACED Skincare for helping me keep my skin glowing under the bright lights of the red carpet during awards show season. Hey, if you are new to BAREFACED, it is an awesome company founded by nurse practitioner and mama for Jordan Harper, who saw so much confusion in the skincare space. She developed a results-driven medical grade skincare line that is simple to use but produces really great results. Go online to barefaced.com and take their AI skin quiz, and you can find out exactly which products are best for your skin. Then at checkout, use the code MAMA15 and you'll get 15% off of your first purchase. That's MOMMA 15. I'm not sure why we didn't think about this sooner, but we have been sprinkling Coat Defense's daily preventative powder on Tucker's dog bed, and both he and his bed stay fresher. We love this daily powder that acts like a dry shampoo and works to eliminate odor and repel dirt. With all the rain we've had this spring, I hate that wet dog smell, and Coat Defense combats odors with a chemical-free formula that prevents the yeast that causes a stinky dog. I think you'll love this powder, and you can try it for 15% off by using code MAMA15 when you check out at coatdefense.com.
What would you say is probably the best advice, or what you've maybe even observed of your mom and then Paige as a mother-in-law in how you mother? What have you incorporated from how you've seen them parent?
I would say patience. And that is something that I have to work on every single day. But they both are so patient with their own kids and with their grandkids and with their spouses. They're just, both of them, I would say, are very patient and just have servant hearts, which I think mothers just, if you don't naturally have a servant heart, you just have to learn to once you have children, because that's so much of what you do, just taking care of littles. And it is so cup filling, and it's also so exhausting. But so you go to bed so tired, but your heart's so full. But then you're like, am I ever gonna do the things that I used to do again? And honestly, probably not. And that was really hard to swallow at first. What? I can never just go to a matinee ever again? The things that we used to take for granted, which I guess one day when we're empty nesters, that'll come back around. One day you will.
It'll be here before you know it. That is definitely for sure. So tell me about life now. What is the balance like? Okay, so you had 4 under 6 years old, at one point. And that's hard, but now there's activities, there's friends, there's sleepovers, there's sports. Thomas Rhett recently was telling everybody listed the different sports. I was like, oh my goodness gracious. So tell me about how you balance it all now.
We're still figuring it out. It's my older 2, they're 6 and 8. And so they're kind of at the ages now where they're able to try to start doing some of this stuff. And Lennon, our 4-year-old, she's doing dance. And so the older 3 do dance together. And it's so sweet. But also you kind of have to limit. I'm realizing I'm having to limit, okay, I know you love these sports, but we can't all choose all of these sports in the same season because Daddy's gone a lot and there's not a whole lot of me to go around always. But because of all the travel and, the life that we live now, before we had our 3rd, we hired a nanny. And now she is my sister-in-law because she married my brother in October. So it's just a whole family thing. He's my brother's photographer. My brother is Grayson's. Grayson is Thomas Rhett's photographer. So he's on the road, Grayson is, with Thomas Rhett, which is sweet because now my husband gets to do life with Grayson, my little brother. And Mackenzie, my sister-in-law, helps me juggle all the schedules at home. And
so she is still the nanny.
She's still the nanny.
Okay.
And we just went on a couple of trips recently. We had a busy month. Away from the kids, which is really good for your marriage, really hard to leave the kids, but really good for your marriage. So I would recommend it. But it was so sweet leaving and knowing that my brother was at home with my girls, with his wife, who is our nanny. It's just like the kindness of the Lord to, I don't know, she was a part of our life, and now she gets to be a part of my girls' lives for forever. And I just think that's so sweet. And we have a lot of fun together.
That is so sweet.
She's amazing.
So this week, Thomas Rhett announced a brand new album. Did anybody get to go to the fan club party yesterday? Yeah. Okay, woo-hoo. That looked like so much fun. And it's about a woman, this woman right here, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, tell us about the album in general, your thoughts on it. You know, we all love the videos where you're kind of like, what album, what song? I mean, you've got a lot going on, girl.
We get it. We have a lot going on. And listen, I think he thinks it's hilarious that I don't know this stuff, and he just uses it in whatever way he wants, I guess to be a joke or to, I don't know. Anyways, but this time around, he purposefully kind of left me out of the album process because he was like, I want you to be surprised about all the things that I'm doing because I've been so involved in his life for just all the details for so long. But once you have kids, the focus shifts a little bit. And so this time around, I didn't get to hear any of it beforehand. There was one night where he and his producer invited me over to his producer's house, and we sat around, and he played me the whole album. And I felt like I got to have my own fan club party. But I think it's so good.
You love it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's my favorite one I think that he's ever done. And then it's a joke. I mean, it's not a joke. There are some that I just don't enjoy as much as others, which is fine. Everybody has different taste. And I'm like, you're not making all of these songs so that I will like them. But because I know that everybody has different tastes. But this album, I think it's my favorite.
Yeah, I love that. So I was reading, there's been a lot of press this week about the album and everything since he announced it. But one of the quotes said, "About a Woman" features Thomas Rhett's commitment to his muse. TR is enjoying a chapter in life that allows he and Lauren a little more time for romance. Oh. So given the schedules that you just told us about, I'm just curious, how on earth?
Who wrote that?
That was a quote from your husband.
Oh. Oh, okay, honey. I mean, okay. In his defense, we are getting sleep because our youngest is 2.5. So that is helpful in having a normal human relationship when you can function because you're sleeping well. All of our kids are great sleepers. And we did, I guess because they're older, it's a little bit easier.
You're getting closer to getting to go to that afternoon matinee.
We do, and yeah, we do. Babies are so hard.
Yeah.
They really are. The newborn, the baby life is so hard. But, and I feel like we get to spend more time together and have one-on-one conversations while the kids can kind of play in the backyard or do whatever they're doing. So that definitely does help.
So it's getting a little bit easier.
A little bit. I wouldn't say that we're just have all the time in the world to be romantic, but I love that he thinks that.
I love that. Well, it's enough material to write a whole album of songs. So
that's right.
Must be pretty good, right?
That's a good point.
Okay. All right. Are you guys ready for us to do some giveaways and a little trivia? We've got some great gifts to be able to give away. Okay. You're going to have to make sure that everybody answers the questions correctly. Okay.
Got it. Hopefully I know the answers.
So I'm trying to think about how I'm going to get these awesome gifts that we have over here. Do you want to come up? Okay. Kylie's going to come up and actually grab the gifts for me. And then my dear friend and partner Carla is over there. She's got the mic. Okay, so I think we're just going to go with a raised hand, and maybe we'll just start maybe in that section so that it's a little bit easier, and then we'll move our way down. But, okay, if you think you know it, raise your hand, and we'll pass the mic to you, and then we'll pass out some of these great gifts. Okay, ready? What is the name of the very first song that Thomas Rhett wrote for Lauren after they were married? Okay, let's go to the middle. We know right over here. Okay. All right, stand up for us. Pass that mic.
Hi. I really hope I get this right. Die a Happy Man?
Die a Happy Man.
Amazing. Great job.
That was it. I thought it was interesting because he said that he kind of realized at that point in his career that he had not really written one specifically since you guys had been married. And of course, that one went right to #1. So pretty awesome.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah. So then he decided, hey, that worked. I'm going to write a whole album about Lauren.
I'm just going to keep riding this wave.
He's like, I think I found the secret sauce. Okay, second question. Okay, TR and Lauren, not too long ago, recently added 2 more adoptees to their family. They happen to be horses. But what are the horses' names? Does anyone know? Oh, front row over here. Oh, she knows. And where's Kylie? Let's see, where'd she go? Oh, give her what Lauren brought, please. Okay, go ahead.
Cowboy and Daisy.
Cowboy and Daisy. Okay, so your gift happens to be Lauren's new perfume line that is called Cowboy and Daisy. And I want you to tell us about the cologne or the perfume collaboration and the horses.
Yeah, friends of ours. Have you tried it yet?
Oh, you have it? Oh, good.
Oh my gosh! Thank you. That's amazing. Friends of ours have a business in Nashville. It's called Ranger Station, and they have a lot of incredible candles. But they've started doing scents now as well. Well, I mean, they have so many scents. But they asked if I wanted to make a scent with them, and so I was able to do the whole process with Steve, who it's their business, and he helped me come up with these scents, and it was such a cool process. But it's funny, I was just talking to my friend backstage, and my friends who wear this now, because people would ask me for forever, like, what do you have on? What is your, like, you have a smell. Like, even in my house, like my clothes, like if I left a sweatshirt somewhere, they'd be like, oh, it's Lauren's because we can smell it. And I'm like, is that a good thing? Or, I mean, because you can't really smell your own, I don't know. I can't. Anyways, they said, no, it's great. So I had to kind of rely on my friends to be like, this is it, this is close, or no, that's not quite it. So I actually can't smell this on me when I wear it, but people ask me. I was at the airport the other day about to get on a Southwest flight, and a lady was like, what do you have on? And I was like, this is amazing, it's working. People like this smell. So it's been so fun to watch people try it, and I'll get texts saying, you're never gonna believe, somebody at the grocery asked me what I was wearing. So I think people like it.
They can say, I'm wearing Lauren Akins.
Yeah, I know. But we named it after our 2 horses, Daisy and Cowboy. And Cowboy is Thomas Rhett's little, he's not a huge horse, but he's a great horse. And he's a paint. And then I have Daisy. She's my Mustang from Wyoming, and I love her so much.
Oh, my goodness.
But yeah, Daisy and Cowboy.
Yeah. And you guys have them out on your beautiful farm, which you've expanded a little bit, really for the horses, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. And it's so, we were just out there last night and took my nephew out there and just ran around with the horses and fished a little bit, and then he threw my phone in the water, in the pond.
Oh.
He sure did. So I was sitting in our pond.
The horse did? The horse?
Nope, my nephew.
Oh.
My nephew just threw my phone right in the water, and y'all, it is still alive. It was in the water for over 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And it is still alive.
Oh, okay. Did you put it in rice or whatever?
No,
they say
I did
to do?
nothing. I did nothing.
There you go.
I went home, and I was like, this is just a lost cause. And this morning, it's
rang.
alive and well, backstage right now.
Good
Isn't
deal.
that wild?
I love that. All right, so here's another question for you guys with another giveaway. Okay, what is the name of Lauren's friend that went to Uganda with her for she only had a week's notice to do this. She traveled with you, and this was in the time that you were adopting Willa Gray, and you were like, I need you to go to Uganda with me, and she dropped everything and went. A hint.
It's a good friend.
Let's see, I bet you don't even need a hint. I was going to give a little clue, but we've got another.
Kaylee Dickerson.
That's amazing. Yes, it was Kaylee.
Kaylee's married to Russell Dickerson, and you guys have become great friends. I know you both love the Lord and are so open about your faith, and just a beautiful friendship. And what a friend to do that for you and with you.
The best friend.
Yeah.
And she helped me, and a lot of people, but Kaylee helped me pray Willa Gray home. I mean, I say it all the time. We have a village that helped pray that little girl home, and she was a significant part of that. And also, she's a great photographer, too, and so she was able to kind of document some of that for us, which is sweet, too.
That's awesome. Okay, where did Lauren go to college, and what did she major in?
The University of Tennessee in nursing.
Go Vols.
Go Vols, yeah.
Yeah.
So nursing degree. I mean, when you looked, let's say before you went to college, deciding what you wanted to major in, did you see yourself as a practicing nurse before the craziness started?
Yeah, for sure. I was so looking forward to doing it, and yeah, it's exactly where I saw my life going. It's really hard to make it in the music industry. It's really hard, and
For sure.
So I just was like, well, you go on and do this for a little while, and then I will be a nurse and help take care of us. And I never set foot in a hospital as a nurse. I mean, not practicing, at least.
Right.
Yeah, not wild.
Yeah, crazy.
I passed sports.
I'd say it comes in handy as a mom of 4, though, right?
It does. And honestly, in Uganda, I'm able to use so much of it in Uganda. When we are out in the villages and you see so much, it's very different from what I would be seeing here in the States in the hospitals. But that's another little God wink. I feel like he's like, your heart wanted to do this. You're not going to do it the way you thought you were. But here's a little bit that will kind of fill your cup in the nursing field.
I love that.
It's
only God knew why he had you pursue that, to use it in a much different way than what you expected. I love that. Okay, one more question, one more giveaway. Let's see, let's take a look at this one. I love this question. So this is what I would call a deep cut. Like, they'd have to be following you for a while, right? But where did TR and Lauren share their first kiss? And I don't mean what city.
First kiss.
First kiss, okay?
Front porch.
So high school kiss.
Oh, don't know that one.
Because there was a kiss before that famous front porch kiss.
I had the front porch, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Okay,
that was one of the kisses.
Okay, one of the kisses. If there's another gift, give it to him. If not, let's see if we can be real specific. Is your answer different? Okay, hold on. Okay, Carla, over here, about 4 rows back.
Raise your hand. When they were in the first grade?
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. That would have been wild.
Yeah, that would have been wild. So the location.
That's a great guess,
Okay,
though.
does anybody think they know this? I would say it has to do with a kid's activity. And this would have been when they were in high school. Okay,
That's great.
I got a couple over here. We're going to try again. It's a really good gift to give, so let's get it. Make sure we get it right. A kid's activity in the backyard kind of thing. Okay, try it.
On a trampoline?
Woo! Yes. Okay, I'm dying to hear this story. The first kiss happened in high school in Thomas Rhett's backyard on a trampoline.
Yeah. I heard somebody say, oh, y'all.
It wasn't romantic, was it, Lauren?
No. It was, we just kind of started, we were 15, so there wasn't a whole lot of dating happening. You know, our parents would take us places, but we were in his backyard. Paige was in the house doing something, and it was just he and I. It had gotten dark. He was really, feeling courageous. And went in. We were both laying. I love to look at the stars. And we were laying, just talking. And without warning, he kind of came up from his position to come over and plant a kiss. And I was kind of like, whoa, I was not prepared for this. As Paige is walking out of the door from on the back porch, and I'm like, oh no, there's Mom. And so I'm coming up as he's trying to kiss, and when I say it was like total teeth collision, I mean, we just knocked teeth very hard, like potential tooth chipping. So, I mean, it was an attempted kiss. It was pretty bad, but we made up for it later.
I was going to say, you've had plenty of time to make up for it. Obviously, you guys figured it out, that's for sure. Thank you so much, Lauren. You're such a bright light, and I know everyone agrees with me, and just keep shining. And thank you so much for the way that you share your family. We love you, we adore you, and it's so awesome to see God's blessings on your life.
Thank you, Jennifer.
All right, thank you.
Love you.
Thank you, everybody. This episode will be out for you to listen to or rewatch next week on Tuesday on all of our platforms. Got it from my mama. Thanks so much for your support.